Mark 3:18, Bartholomew, who's actually Nathaniel from Cana of Galilee. Very little said about him. He's the one who cares not for Nazareth. And Jesus reckoned he had no guile. Interesting word.
A couple of things that we should blow out to start with. Why is he called Nathaniel? Why is he called Bartholomew? Nathaniel means God has given. Nathaniel bar Talmai is Nathaniel, son of Talmai.
Yeah.
Bartholomew. We know from John 1 verse 45 that he's a mate of Philip's. We know he has got a certain degree of character and insight around things, because we get that in verse 46 in John 1. Philip says, I found the one of whom Moses and the prophets wrote, Jesus in Nazareth. And Nathaniel says in verse 46, can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Why would he say that? Well, Nazareth was quite a rough town, unrefined, uneducated. And there was almost a hierarchy in terms of snobbishness. So the Judeans would look down on the Galileans, and the Galileans would look down on the Nazarenes. And so anyone from Nazareth was like right down the pecking order. It reminded me of when I was living in East Sussex. You had Couden, you had Bexhill, and you had Sidley. If you said to somebody who lived in Couden that they lived in Bexhill, they go, oh, no, Couden, actually. And if you said to somebody living in Bexhill that they lived in Sidley, they go, no, I don't live in Sidley, mate. I don't think so. Those flipping dregs that live up there in Sidley, which is where I lived. I lived with the dregs of the area.
Jesus of Nazareth,
yeah,
from the lowest place you can think of.
Yeah, he's prejudiced.
Well, who isn't?
This is what I like about the Gospels. They don't try and hide any of this. The Gospel writer isn't trying to make these people super impressive superheroes who never do anything wrong, like we get today in politics, where every politician is higher and mightier than thou, and they look down on the plebs. This Bible gives us an insight into these great men and women who were low on the pecking order.
Going back to Talmai, interesting name. This one of the Nephilim.
Oh, right, is it?
Talmai, Ahiman, and Sheshai. Bartholomew was said to have gone to India, found up scriptures that are really old, roughly around about the 1st or 2nd century, which a lot of people think, really? Well, it was part of the trade routes. People would have gone out there quite regularly and back and forth.
But remember who he's grouped with. He's grouped with Philip, he's grouped with Thomas, and he's grouped with Matthew. There is a very strong tradition that Thomas went out into India, but also in Mesopotamia and also in Armenia. I think it's Fox's Book of Martyrs and the Armenian tradition have him being martyred for Christ in either Armenia, possibly in India. And
flayed alive?
Flayed alive or beheaded. And in flaying alive, that's not a nice way to go.